Hello and welcome to the Doctor's Corner. I am Dr. Mark Pinsky, and today we're continuing our discussions on health and wellness. Patients often come to me in the weight loss clinic so frustrated with their inability to lose weight. They say, Dr. Pinsky, I've tried everything. How come I do all these dietary things and I don't make any progress, but my buddy Joe, he tried this and it worked great for him? Or how about, listen, I have gone to the gym religiously. I have done everything I was supposed to do. I cannot lose weight and I cannot gain any muscle. Or maybe it's this. I'm tired of doing the roller coaster. I did great while I was on it, and then I came off of it and I did terrible. So why is it that we have so much trouble losing and maintaining our weight loss? Well, maybe it's really all about our genes. No, not our Geans, but our Genes. That's right. You see, God made all of us individually different, right? So unless we know our own genes and how our genes respond nutritionally and to fitness, well, we're just going to continue to struggle. You see, even myself, for a long time, I thought I was doing all the right things. And not until recently did I tap in to my own genetic action plan to create my desired results. As a matter of fact, over the last 2 months, I have lost 4% body fat just by tapping in to knowledge about my own genes. Well, how did I do that? Well, very simple. If you click the link below, it'll take you directly to a place where you can order your own DNA kit. That's right. You can test your own DNA at a very reasonable cost through IDlife. IDlife uses a company called Molecular Labs. Now, Molecular Labs is located in Washington State, and they sign a contract with you that says they will not use your DNA for anything. And as a matter of fact, they will destroy the contents of your DNA once you are given your report. Now, this is incredibly unbelievable because you get 46 pages of incredibly detailed information. The problem is sometimes to take that into action is very cumbersome. So IDlife went one step further. They created what they call their genetic action plan. So once you get your DNA back, which takes about 2 to 3 weeks after you do your cheek swab, then you take that information, you go to gap.idlife.com, and you import that information directly into the program where it gives you a genetic action plan. Now, it focuses on workouts. It focuses on vitamins, and not just vitamins that are basically so you take supplements. These are foods you could take which have the important vitamins and minerals you need. Now, if you don't want to do that, or if you just can't do that, then vitamin supplementation comes into play. You need more energy, right? Talk about MTHFR. MTHFR is a gene that 50% of the population has a variant to. And sometimes that could be very problematic. One example is I am heterozygous for one of the mutations, and that literally creates a potential increase in homocysteine levels. Homocysteine levels have been associated with many diseases, but particularly atherosclerotic heart disease. It also affects metabolism of folate, B6, B12, which would explain, at least in some part, why some people's folate, B6, and B12 are down. It tells you what you need to do to get the appropriate amount of folate and how to replace that. Just a lot more later on. We'll talk about MTHFR because it is absolutely fascinating. We'll do a whole segment on MTHFR. There's a whole segment on weight loss, on energy, on anti-aging. And so for all of those things, you're going to be able to tap directly into the source to help you get whatever it is, the desired result you want. I think that's absolutely phenomenal. Using science, actual science, to prevent the roller coaster. A very detailed 60-page report that's easy to understand, easy to implement, and I'm just telling you, it's just exciting. Now, to explain this further, I'm going to introduce to you Mr. Mark Bennett, who is the COO of IDlife, and he'll run through actually how you put your information into the genetic action plan. Mark, take it away.
When you go to gap.idlife.com, you land right here on this screen. You can see it. Put your genes into action. All you're going to do is create your plan. Now, you notice all of these little check marks. It says, hello, let's put your genes into action. And it's asking you all these various questions. You notice right here under the folate when you can actually hit the plus button and it expands out to what your actual markers are on MTHFR. More about that later. Now, all you're going to do is take your report when you get it, that 46-page report, and on the summary page, you're going to be able to check the boxes that apply to you as you go along. Once you get there, you're going to go down to the very bottom and hit Get My Recommendations. When you do, you're going to land on this page right here. Now, this page is all of your reports. You notice that you have the workout, vitamins, anti-aging, weight loss, energy, and MTHFR. Now, at IDlife, we follow a HIPAA protocol. What that means is we protect your information just like a medical professional does. This is your information. This information is not stored on IDlife's servers anywhere. This information belongs to you. So when you get here, you have a couple of options. You can download your workout plan only if that's the one you're interested in, or you know what, I'm just interested in weight loss. So I can bounce over to the weight loss and I can download my weight loss plan. Or you can go and download all of the recommendations. Okay, you can download this to your computer and then it just belongs to you. Or of course, your other option is to send and save. When you hit send and save, you're going to give your name, your email, you're going to hit send. Again, it's being sent to you, not being stored on our system. The reason why this is important is because if you leave this page and you do not download your reports, again, not saved, which means if you ever want those, you're going to have to start over and do it again. Again, super simple. It doesn't take very long. But let's go back over to the recommendations page because I want to talk about each one of these a little bit more detail. First, the workout plan. See, your genes have certain things that you can learn about them. First, for instance, what if I did want to, this time of year, lose weight, but I don't really want to lose weight. What I want to do is gain muscle and lose fat. Well, what if I told you that, there are people out there that they just don't lose fat with exercise? Wow, that's kind of a pause moment. What do you mean I don't lose fat with exercise? Well, there are certain people that store fat underneath their skin, not underneath the muscle. So as a result, in order to lose fat, they need to focus on the kitchen, not the gym. They use the gym in order to gain lean muscle. This test will tell you that. But not only that, it's going to tell you the kind of workouts that you should perform. Like, for instance, this person right here happens to be me. You were genetically designed for intensity and endurance. What does that mean? That means I need to focus on 30 to 45-minute workouts, hit and Tabata style, very little rest in between, low weight, high rep. That's how my body actually wants to build muscle. Okay. Then, what is it with regard to my recovery? Well, see, as you can see, I'm a medium recoverer. I don't recover really fast, which means I may not have to work out as often and give my body a chance to recover because I have predispositions to DOMS or delayed onset muscle soreness. Well, what about my injury? I have an increased risk. Well, guess what? Warming up for me is not something I get a chance to think about or play at. It's something I really have to do. In fact, you see the recommendation, 20 to 30 minutes of warm up just to prevent injury. This whole report tells me what kind of workouts I need to do, how often I need to do them, how my body wants to recover, and how I'm going to maximize my workouts so that I can work smarter, not harder. What about vitamins? Well, the vitamin report is very similar. Again, how your body metabolizes key nutrients in your body. Like, for instance, right here, this is your inflammation gene. As you can see, my marker, not that great. Your genes are on fire. Well, that kind of has a tendency to get your attention, especially when you consider inflammation is, one of the leading causes of aches, pains, gut health, autoimmune, and other related issues. What does it do? Does it tell me I need to just take supplements? No. What it tells me is I actually have foods, high quality omega-3 cold water fish, and these are the types of fish that I need. It literally focuses in on diet and lifestyle modifications that I can make to work with my body based upon my genetic markers so that I know I'm getting all the vitamins and nutrients in my body. How about vitamin A? Well, what is vitamin A? Where does it come from? What kind of foods should I consume to get enough of it? And am I able to metabolize it? In this particular case, the sun is my best source of vitamin D because I actually metabolize it. But believe it or not, there actually are some people that can't metabolize vitamin D through their skin. What does that mean? They either need to get it through healthy sources of their diet or they're going to have to supplement. This report will tell you that information. What about anti-aging? Anti-aging is, kind of the rave right now. There's a lot of information out there about anti-aging, but the main thing is you need to focus more on your biological age and less on your chronological age. There's a difference in here, and this will actually explain to you what is biological age. as you say, this is all written in plain English, easy for you to understand. This isn't super scientific. You have your scientific 46-page report. If you want to dive into the science, it's there. What this is for, though, is to put all of the gene information about you that's in that report into practical application. This is going to give you the information that you need to age healthfully. For instance, it's going to talk to you about VO2 max. Well, why do I care about VO2 max? Well, guess what? It's directly related to cardiovascular health. Cardiovascular disease being the #1 killer of people in this country, according to the American Heart Association, though I would probably argue that it's hand-to-mouth disease that causes cardiovascular disease. If you want to know what hand-to-mouth disease is, that's our hand finding our mouth way too often with the wrong thing. But this is actually going to walk through with you how to understand the different aspects of how you're aging based upon your genetics. You know, my predisposition to obesity, my delayed full feeling. Well, yeah, what about that? That appetite gene, how could that affect my age? What if I told you the average American consumes an entire meal in 11 minutes, but it takes almost 20 minutes for the average signal, the leptin hormone in your body, to basically tell your brain that you're full? Well, if I'm consuming it in 11 and I don't even give it the 20 minutes, guess what? I'm a member of the Clean Your Plate Club because I've cleaned my plate before my body has an opportunity to tell my brain that I'm full. This report will actually inform you where your body is, how genetically you were made, how much of a delayed signal you have. As you can see here, my signal takes 30 to 40 minutes, so not even 20, which means I have to do other things, changing diet and lifestyle to maximize the results that I'm looking for. All of this and a lot more information on how to healthfully age is in this report. One of the reports a lot of people love is the weight loss report. Now, why is that important to you? As you can see, you lose fat in the kitchen. Wow. Well, now, how is that not an eye opener? See, I always thought when I was told, college athlete, you know, I'm going to lose fat in the gym. I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to jump on the elliptical. I'm going to jump on the treadmill. I'm going to really spend a lot of time on there. And what I found is I have this wonderful genetic marker that stores my fat under my skin. So the gym is not the most efficient place for me to lose fat. It's actually in the kitchen, meaning I need to take cooking classes more than I need to join a gym. But at the same token, remember, I want to gain muscle because muscle is what increases my metabolism. So this isn't telling you not to work out. What this is telling you is if you want to lose fat, you do it in the kitchen. If you want to gain muscle, you do that in the gym. And it tells me exactly how to do it in my workout plan. What about how this? Carbs aren't my enemy as long as they are complex. Again, there's a big difference between simple carbs and complex carbs. What this is telling me is that my body actually does crave carbohydrates. It does not crave sugars, starches, and simple carbohydrates. What it does crave is complex carbohydrates from fruits and vegetables. And it actually walks through all of those various aspects of things, what the difference between them, and how much carbohydrates should actually be in my daily diet to maximize my body's needs based upon my genetics. Eating the right types of fats is critical to achieving goals. So again, fats in the diet. You know, one of the biggest myths out there is, you know, eating fat will make you fat. Unfortunately, that's the standard American diet philosophy since the 1950s, and that's been dispelled in multiple myths. But this will actually walk you through that. You know, knowledge is power, and these tips can help you start on a new path. This is actually talking about body weight. You know, I'm supposed to be extremely cautious because I have a tendency to be overweight genetically. So imagine that. What if you found out that you have predispositions, but predisposition just means that you are genetically made this way, but doesn't mean it has to go this way. What this means is if you follow the standard path, in other words, if you do what your parents did, you're going to get what your parents got. But what this does is open your eyes to other opportunities so that you can truly understand genetically how you were made. And the weight loss report goes on into great detail about all the different aspects of what you need to know in order to maximize your ability to have the weight that you've always wanted. What about energy? You know, I saw a study the other day that this is one of the #1 things, top 3 things that people search for when it comes to health and wellness. The thing people lack the most, energy, usually because of the lack of sleep and other things that are going on in our life, as well as all the fatigue from blue light and other things. But the reality is there are natural ways for you to improve your energy levels. Like for instance, right here, warning, potential energy zapper alert. Well, what this is my aerobic potential. Again, VO2 max. You know, if I don't focus in on my aerobic potential, my VO2, guess what? That is going to zap my energy. And this actually talks about how I can improve my VO2 max through efforts that work with my genes. Another a source of energy that can take away your natural energy. This one's talking about my dietary carbs and my sensitivity to them. Again, we had carbohydrates in weight loss, but now we have carbohydrates as it relates to energy. Additional information to know about. Then, of course, how fats affect it, inflammation and its energy drain and what that can do to me, as well as all of the overconsumption of caffeine. Because I have such a low sensitivity, I don't have the feeling that a lot of people have when it comes to caffeine, though one of the things we're always told is if you need more energy, you need more caffeine. Not always the case, and this report goes through it. And then, of course, one of the strongest reports that we have, the one that probably has the most value, and the one that I ask people to really pay attention to the most, that's MTHFR. This is your methylation process in your body. This is how your body is getting rid of the toxins, pollutants, and other things that we're exposed to on a daily basis in our food and our water supply. But remember, 80% of the toxins and pollutants that we consume in our body actually comes through our skin. It's not even something that we breathe. It actually is something that's digested through the skin. This report explains to you what MTHFR is. This explains to you that MTHFR has been linked to the #1 cause of miscarriage in this country and why. This report explains to you that if you're, compound heterozygous like myself, why your body is basically 90% reduced in its ability to detoxify and the things that you need to do to help your body detoxify. In fact, when we're talking about benefits and other things that you can do, you notice when you get down to the bottom of each one of these reports, you see supplement recommendations or IDlife recommendations in addition to diet, where you can find tools, resources, information, and products that IDlife has developed to help with these different genetic markers. In this particular case, we have ID Nutrition because it's key to getting your folate or methylfolate being very critical for people with MTHFR. And then, of course, the detox box. The detox box for a lot of people is a quarterly detox system, but for somebody like myself that's compound heterozygous MTHFR, this isn't a quarterly thing, it's a way of life thing. My body needs the support. So the detox box becomes critical for my ability to get rid of all those toxins and pollutants and other things that I'm exposed to on a regular basis.
So there you have it from the man himself. Thank you so much, Mr. Mark Bennett, for that wonderful explanation. Very clear, very concise, and unbelievably informative on how to go through the action plan step by step. Back in 2019, when I did my original DNA analysis, I found that even for me, it was incredibly cumbersome. But with the help of Mr. Mark McCoy, I was able to put together an amazing program for myself. But not until I actually employed the genetic action plan have I felt that it made a huge difference. Mark has now gone back and redone my own genetic action plan with me, and we've come up with a totally new program which is working. So if you want to tap into your DNA to make a difference in your overall nutrition and your fitness, please click that link below. You'll be happy you did. It potentially could change your life. Take care. For the Doctor's Corner, I am Dr. Mark Pinsky. Take care. This is Dr. Mark Pinsky once again asking you to forward questions to us, whether regarding this episode or any of our past episodes, at drmarkscorner@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to check us out on our website, pinskywellness.com or pinskyweightloss.com. We look forward to hearing all of your questions, and we'll get back to you as soon as we do. Y'all have a great week.